We are tuned in and plugged in. It's time for another VOCM Soundcheck, and tonight we have 2/3 of SHAYE on the line. We got Kim Stockwood. How you doing?
Hello.
Tara MacLean as well out on the West Coast. How are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is quite awesome. Obviously, you know, you guys were a big part of East Coast music in 2003, 2009, I guess, was the run for SHAYE. A few big hits, a number of award nominations and things like that. Now you're back with a new single, and we're going to get into that shortly. But, Kim, I guess I'll go to you first. Just give us the backstory on SHAYE, how you guys all came together back in the day.
Wow. I guess it was maybe around 2001. Is that right, Tara? Around then,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, right when Sophia was born.
Right, that's right. So basically, Davnet and I were signed to EMI Records, and the president of EMI then, his name was Dean Cameron, an amazing man. He had this idea that Davnet and I should have a trio, a band, and you know, we were sitting in a cafe one day trying to figure out who the third person was going to be. And Tara's song came on the radio. And I had known Tara through our friend, and Dav had known Tara a bit. And we were just like, that's the sign right there. So we asked her, and she said, yes, it's that simple. And the crazy thing is, you know, we had no idea what we were going to sound like when we sang together. But, you know, it was just meant to be because our voices just came together. They're also very different, but when we sang together, it was seamless. So
yeah, it's a beautiful
one of those things.
It's a beautiful little mix when you guys sing together, and this new song really highlights that to me. And we'll talk about God in just a sec. But Tara, let's talk about the name SHAYE for folks. Obviously, this is a big connection for you and your family.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we were trying to name the band forever, and every day Kim and Dab would come to my house because that's where we were recording a lot of the demos, and I'd have 10 different names ready to go to throw by us, and we had like the Saltwater Trio, and,
the Lilacs,
and Dare's Tree, because there's three of us.
There's three of us.
And yeah, and we had all these different names, and finally, you know, I kind of gave up, and Davnet kept saying, and Kim, it's just going to come. It's just going to come. Okay. And then while we were working on the demos, tragically, my sister died in a car accident, and her name was SHAYE. And she was very special to all of us, and she was my best friend and was just really taking off in life, and only 26 years old. And so Kim and Dav flew to Prince Edward Island to be with me, like to stand like pillars on either side of my heart as I was so broken and so sad. And we sang at her funeral together, and we sang a song called Beauty from our first album. And then, you know, as we kind of came back to Toronto, we were sitting there one day, and Davnet just said, I think SHAYE. I think we should call the group SHAYE. And it's the Gaelic word for courage and freedom. And it just sounded perfect, and it stuck. Although Jim Cuddy did think that our name was Shave.
So SHAVED, Shave. What do you call yourself?
So, you know, it's really beautiful. It has so much meaning to us, and yeah, it's lovely that we get to carry it through even till now and have a new song. It feels wonderful. It keeps her alive.
Well, it is absolutely a beautiful thing, and now it's 11 years later. You guys have reunited, and I guess this isn't the way you guys planned on reuniting in 2020, because there was something in the works for the East Coast Music Awards here in St. John's in relation to Ron and his induction into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame, Kim, right?
Yeah, we were, you know, I was saying to the girls a little while ago, I think it was Ron Hines who actually got us back together, because we were supposed to help induct him. And in St. John's, that was going to be the first time we were going to sing together live in a long time. And that was canceled, like so much of 2020, you know, we just don't know what's going to happen next. But, you know, and the ECMAs are still going to be, we actually ended up still doing it from our individual homes and stuff. So that's going to be, I think it's July 11th. So we're still part of it, just not together. But yeah, that was what made us think about it. And then, you know, this, I mean, Tara and Dad are probably sick of hearing this story now, but about 2 months ago in the middle of this pandemic, I I woke up in the middle of the night, and part of the reason I'm waking up in the middle of the night is because I'm going through the change. As my dad and a lot of people call them, the tropical moments. And what did you say Oprah calls them, Tara?
Power surges.
The power surges. Okay, I'll even call it that. Yeah, I'm just going around flashing all the time. So anyway, I've been waking up. You know, a lot of people, I'm sure, are nuts, haven't been sleeping great throughout this whole time anyway. But, you know, I got the added thing of menopause in the middle of it. Anyway, waking up in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling, thinking about what I got to do the next day. And on one of those times, I started singing a song in my head, and I'm like, what is that? I couldn't place it right away. And then I remembered that it used to be the encore that SHAYE used to do. And, yeah, we had never recorded it. We did a demo 17 years ago. And the next day when I went to find the demo, I just totally teared up because the lyrics are now. And I just had this thought, maybe the girls would do it. We could record it right now because I think the world needs a lot of music right now. So they said yes, and we did it.
This song, you're 100% right. I mean, it fits right now. And it's funny how music kind of does that and comes back around to different scenarios that we're living. You guys did this as the encore as well, as you mentioned, for years in your live sets. But this version itself is a pretty stripped-down version, right? It's just the guitars and the voices.
Yeah.
Just talk about the process of why you wanted to do that.
Well, you know, none of us are particularly tech savvy, but we're learning. There's a little curve happening, and we all have, you know, little tiny microphones in our house. And I had just recorded a song with Catherine MacLean that we had released, and so I was feeling pretty good about like my little microphone being able to handle some pretty intense vocals, and so that's why I knew we could do it. And Kim, you know, she's like me. We just sort of look at it and go, how the heck are we going to figure this out?
I'm 10 times worse than you are. Oh my gosh. Totally.
Oh, but it was so great because Bill Bell, who was was one of the producers on our first record and worked with us a lot in the beginning, who was also my first husband. He had the guitar tracks from our old demo, and he sent them to Kim, and Kim layered her vocal on because she was doing the main melody, and then they sent those 2 tracks to me. I built my part on top of it. We sent it to Dav. She built her part on top of that, and then we sent it all to Bill, and he is magical. He just blended it all together, and it just, you know, and he just added a few little bits of magic, and, you know, all of a sudden we had this track, and he sent it to us, and the hair on my arm stood on end. I couldn't believe how easy it was for us all to just blend back together again and create something really powerful. And that song, we used to not only do it as our encore, we used to take off our shoes, unplug our guitars, step away from our microphones, and go to the front of the stage and just give our most real and authentic and raw selves to the audience at the end, because we'd already given everything we could. We'd already opened as deeply as we could, and that song was kind of like the pinnacle of what we gave, but it never worked. It never worked
to be released before.
No matter how we tried to be released. And so this was just such a special thing. So releasing it into the world, I think we all feel very, very proud of it. I think lyrically, it like Kim said, it speaks to the moment. And it's, I just really hope other people resonate with it. And it's just a really exciting thing.
We're going to play.
No,
go ahead.
I was going to say, we should say we did not write the song. It was written by this young writer, Jean O'Brien, who was like 18 when she wrote it, and which is pretty incredible.
She was? Wow.
She was 19 years old when she wrote it. She was dreaming of all the things she was hoping she was going to do in her life. And, so I just want to make that point.
That's amazing. Yeah, you guys obviously do a phenomenal job on it. We're going to play God for folks in just a few moments. I know this is streaming everywhere as well. If folks want to go look for it online after they get their first taste of it, or maybe their second or third taste. I'm sure people have probably already found it. But let's talk briefly before I let you go. I guess the song's out now. You guys are doing the thing for Iran on July the 11th with the East Coast Music Awards. Are we going to get more SHAYE out of this?
I said this last week. I was like, you have one baby. And then they want to know, when's the next one coming? You know what? But you always, you, once you do something that you enjoy, you know you're going to do it again. So I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I'm pretty sure the three of us are hoping we'll get to sing together in person sometime, in the next year, hopefully.
And I'd really love to write with the girls again. That was really a place where we all dug really deep. And as you know, all of us are separately are such different artists. But something comes together, in terms of what we want to say as a group. And so I'm excited about that, sitting down and creating fresh stuff when the time is right. And, nobody knows anything about the future right now. It's just a giant question mark, and it's a chance to dream into what's possible. So I'd give anything to be able to work with these two brilliant women again.
Well, I can't wait for the next opportunity to hear you guys sing on more tracks and hopefully, yes, get back to a live venue at some point and see maybe you guys gel together again. Kim Stockwood, Tara MacLean join us on a VOCM Soundcheck tonight. This is phenomenal. 2/3 of SHAYE. We'll play God for you now in a second. Thank you both so much.
Great. Thank you. I can't wait to come home again. I'm hoping I can come home soon.
We'll work on it for you.
All right. Thanks, Greg.